Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about how claiming you don't want to be a workaholic may just mean that you're lazy. I've heard a number of people when I talk about productivity and success and doing more, they immediately just think that means more hours of sitting in the office. The reality is there are people, and I've known many people over the years, and myself included, that I can get more done in the same amount of time. I can get more productivity in the same amount of time that other people take to get a tenth of the productivity done. Now, why is that? It's not being special or anything like that. Some of it is you do get better and better, of course, you improve. But a lot of people are stagnant and they are so busy trying to be entertained, so busy trying to get out of work that they wind up doing very little and then wondering why they don't get good results. They've done all kinds of studies over the years, and the results vary, but normally it's something like a quarter of the time people are at work. They're supposed to be working, they're getting paid to be working, they aren't actually getting anything accomplished. Now, if you just think about that, you don't have to spend a single second longer in your day at work if you just started actually working when you're at work. You would already multiply your productivity by at least 3 times in most cases. Many cases more than that. Now you may say, well, how could that be? How could people only work a quarter of the time when they're at work? They'd get fired if that's the case. No, they wouldn't. Because so many other people are doing it. You don't even consider all the stuff that's not work going on. Chatting with people about the day's events. Taking a little bit of extra time on your lunch break. Taking a little bit of extra time on your other breaks. Checking social media here and there. It just adds up to a lot of time wasted and a lot of productivity lost. So I'm not telling you got to be there 18 hours a day or else you're somehow dishonoring God. But I am telling you that if you're going there and you're not doing your all, and you're not putting your work in, you're not working as unto the Lord, you're dishonoring Him by stealing from that employer. And if you have your own business, you're stealing from yourself. There's no good coming from that. Wouldn't you rather go home after a day of work knowing that you accomplished your all, you really gave it your all, you really worked as if it was working unto the Lord? Or do you want to go home knowing that you really cut a bunch of corners, that you didn't do all you could, that you took a bunch of breaks, you did a lot of stuff on the clock that you shouldn't have been getting paid for because it wasn't work? Oftentimes people just use this I don't want to be a workaholic excuse to cover for their complete and total laziness. And the thing is, they will go and stay at a place. In some cases, they'll stay even longer and get less done than if they just worked and gave their all from the beginning. They wouldn't have to work as long. And I'm not telling you to work short hours, but my point is that you don't have to work 16-hour days to get a lot accomplished. You can work 8-hour days and then come home and do some more work and whatever. But your life should be one of productivity. It shouldn't be laziness and relaxation and checking social media all day. And let me read this news story. Let me talk about this. Let me gossip with somebody over here. Let me talk about this client and how they were so bad. This customer, how they were so bad. And just waste all your day doing nothing. Getting only the bare minimum done so you don't get fired. So you can maybe get your annual performance bonus that you didn't really earn. Because the standards are so low that the bare minimum gets you a bonus just for existing. That's not how I'd want to live my life. And I hope you don't either. And I hope you get out of that mentality that work is somehow bad. It's a necessary evil of sorts. It's none of those things. It is ennobling. I wrote a book called Work Smarter and Harder. And in that, I talk and teach and give you details about how ennobling work is, how good it is for you, how God created humanity to work. Not the toil and by the sweat of your brow, but He created us to work, to be accomplishing, to be like Him, to be creators. Now, some of you aren't working and not producing very much because you're going to a place you don't want to be at. And I'll get these people sometimes and they'll say, well, you don't understand, my job's so hard. I just don't want to be there. But then I ask them the most basic things. Well, what did you do today to make your job better? Nothing, of course. What jobs have you been applying for that would be better for you? None. So they're doing nothing each and every day except complaining. The only thing they do to make their job any better makes it worse, and it's complaining. So you have to snap out of this mentality. It's a mentality of the world. It's not the mentality of a renewed mind. A renewed mind can see the goodness and grace of God in their lives each and every day. A renewed mind can make a workplace that is not good into a place of peace. A renewed mind can bring about great results and massive improvements in productivity. And when they get off work, then they can check social media. A renewed mind can do a lot more things than the world's mind, the world's way of thinking, the world's way of approaching things, which is victimhood, which is whining, which is complaining, which is being lazy and indolent. That should never describe you as a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. Because you can't honestly, with a pure heart, say, I gave my all and I worked unto the Lord today, if you spent time gossiping and you spent time checking social media and you spent time doing this useless thing and that useless thing that doesn't help in the business you're being paid to get accomplished. And that's whether you work for somebody else or you work for yourself. And when you work for yourself, oftentimes that can be even worse because entrepreneurs so often give themselves so many breaks. Especially if you're working out of the home, there's so many things you could be doing besides work that can waste your time, that can draw your attention away. This is why I've told some entrepreneurs the best thing for them to do is go and rent an office space somewhere and go work there each and every day like you're going to work a regular job for somebody else, because there's no distractions and you can just get work done. Because many people don't have the discipline to work out of their own homes. That's why so many entrepreneurs fail miserably, because they're so distracted and they don't have anyone lording over them, telling them what to do or not do each day, and they just don't get a whole lot done. That should not be your lot in life. You should be choosing to be the best, to be the most experienced, the most productive, the best worker in your business, your company, wherever you are, because you're doing all things unto the Lord. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.